Good morning.
Day 4.
Day 4. Made it through night 3. A lot chillier of a night. Not only did the temperature drop down, but we also had wind to contend with. And so it's one of those nights you're counting the seconds till sunrise. And I think that my little cattail cruisers really came in handy. They're falling apart now because I was kicking around, but these things, oh man, so nice to have.
Cattail cruisers.
My cattail cruisers. Also my buff, you know, the twofold. A lot of people don't realize that respiration is a heat loss mechanism, and to be able to keep your heat in, that breath, that hot air close to your face, and be able to continue breathing that in is a good way to keep your whole body warm. So having that buff that I could flip over when I got cold was nice, but also because the wind kind of picked up, as you were mentioning yesterday, Jason, that you use it a lot when you're obviously for protecting when you're doing any kind of work or anything that protect your breathing in any nasty stuff. That kind of clicked for me when I kept on coughing during the night. I'm breathing in nasty stuff, gunky stuff. And I was like, oh yeah, Jason always uses this, obviously. And that helped a lot because I wasn't going anywhere. And the wind wasn't changing. We didn't have really an opportunity to change. You know, the smoke was coming to my face irregardless. So that was really nice to be able to chunk that buff up and continue breathing on and not die in my sleep with carbon dioxide.
That's always nice.
Yeah.
Well, I'm super excited to have completed the third night, the last night, and I'm excited about honestly just rolling out today. I think it went well. We got a lot accomplished. We're going to do some more stuff today before we leave because technically 72 hours is not up till about midday, a little after lunchtime. And it's supposed to be pretty cold today, I think. So that'll be fun. It was really cold last night. I'm going to sneak over here. Like 10, 15 degrees.
It is warmer now than it was, 4 a.m., 3 a.m.
So I spent most of the evening pretty much like this. Like inches from flame. That like so close where it was like burning me, but if you moved any further away, you just shiver all night. So it was just like, I'll take knee burns over shivering.
Yeah, I'm not so sure I can walk. We haven't confirmed that for me yet. I haven't stretched my legs out all night.
So, yeah, you were pretty fetally over here in this corner. Make sure you guys are leaving us some comments. I really, really am appreciative of comments. It helps the YouTube voodoo algorithms, and it's I just like the feedback. So make sure you guys are leaving us some comments. Let us know what you think about this, just in general, or about the gear that we're using.
All the things we did wrong, all the things you would do better.
That you would do better because you're the expert. I really appreciate those comments as well. But sincerely, I do appreciate those comments because even the negative comments help. So go ahead and leave those. Those would be great.
All the words that Dustin makes up.
Yeah.
Go ahead and just copy and paste a dictionary.
No, we're absolutely on the same page on making up words. I get that's one of the things that I get nailed on the comments all the time is like, that's not even a real word. Yeah, it is. I made it up just now. All words are made up, right? So.
Oh, that's deep.
That's it.
All right, so we're going to boil water in one of these emergency reservoirs. There is always going to be a risk when you put something like this over the fire that you're going to poke a hole in it or something's going to happen or it falls, something like that. So it's not advisable to do that unless a worst case scenario that you need to boil water because you're out of tablets, you haven't had sun to do a SOTUS, and so this is the only way, and you're scared that you're not going to have any other way to purify the water. So we're going to do that, but we're also, another good reason to do this is because sometimes in the field, having boiled water is good for other purposes. So for instance, Jason came up here, started getting some altitude sickness-ish symptoms, headache, things like that. We have willow abundant down there, so we can take willow and make willow tea out of it. And that's pretty much the precursor of aspirin. And so we can make a medicine using the boiled water. And otherwise, being able to do that, it's not going to be very efficient to kind of bring out those medicinal properties. Also, if we had somebody in our party that's suffering from hypothermia, one of the best ways to get somebody out of a hypothermic state, other than warming up in certain ways, is to get something warm inside them too, warm them from the inside. So having that boiled water would also be worthwhile to kind of risk your water bag. The heat is conducting through the outer encasement into the water on the inside, and the water is actually keeping the outside cool. So even though typically the plastic would melt at the temperatures we're going to put it at, it won't melt when it has water inside of it. However, just to be sure, we made these things out of high heat temp plastic, and it's also food grade. So I make no guarantees. Plastic's always kind of a dirty thing. You shouldn't ever, FYI, if you're doing this, you shouldn't put plastic ever in a microwave. People who study this stuff, cancerologist,
that's a word.
That's a word. It hands down, heating up plastics is not a good thing. We're doing it way too much as humans. So I won't say that it's good to do this. You know, very commonly don't do it on a regular basis. But this is food grade plastic versus like a dirty PET water bottle or something like that. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna rig this up so that we gotta leave air, right? It's gonna start to boil inside here. So we're only going to secure one side. And we're gonna leave one side to be a little spout. And I think what I'm gonna do is probably do something like a sheet bend. Sheet bends are named because I believe is the way you would tie your lines to a sheet like on a sailboat, and it works really well for something like this where we have plastic. Oof. I'm burning up. This is so hot over here. I can't sit here.
First he's cold, then he's hot, then he's it's like a woman.
Hot flashes over here. It had a lot of cold flashes last night. All right.
By the way, what kind of bear poop concoction do you have in there?
Oh yeah, thanks sir.
In case they didn't catch it on the first videos.
Yeah, so I was surprised to see that juniper berries look like this too. This is juniper berry juice, and I just squished some juniper berries. I like the flavor of these juniper berries out here, so I thought it'd be fun to actually juice them up and add some water to it, and now we're gonna boil the water. Yeah, this is Technora, so this is really got a way higher melting point than something like paracord, which is nylon. It's basically the same thing as Kevlar, which Kevlar is known as a high heat resistant material that firefighters and stuff use. So we're gonna use coals in this case. We can use fire and we can have it lick up here, but the coals are gonna just set us up more for success. We're gonna be able to have a consistent heat right below it, and it's not gonna take that chance as much of it burning a hole in there. So far, so good. So we got it rigged up nicely, and now we're gonna work the coals around it.
Looks like you got tadpoles in there, man.
There might be some. I may have gathered some other things up in there. Maybe too much.
Yeah, we might oughta. A brave man, boiling bag of water over his knee.
Oh yeah.
There's that. Let that cool down, and it'll be drinkable. Look at that. Camp broke down.
That's it.
That's about it. I always like to try to leave things better than I found them, so I'll kind of disperse all this stuff around and try to make it look like I wasn't here as best as possible. It's, not that it really matters out here. It's all biodegradable kind of natural stuff, but I don't like coming into a place and seeing people's remnants of camp and things like that, so I'm going to try to be a good steward. little pour over brew.
Good. Just the fire's actually burning my hand a little bit. All right.
Not the water, but the fire.
Oh, yeah, it's the fire.
Okay, that seems to be working.
That's pretty good. Well, that's pretty good. Slightly tannic at the end, but not as much as the juniper berries typically are.
So one of those ways to check for dehydration is to pull the skin up on your hand and see how quickly it returns back to normal. And it should happen within basically a second or two. Should be pretty quick normally, but watch this. Very sticky, kind of slow coming back. So that means that I have not been drinking enough water. Yeah, man, I think my skin's just kind of dried out and stuff too. That's not helpful, but not drinking enough water is going to be the primary culprit of that. I mean, that's taken like 6 seconds to go back to normal, and that means that I need to be more diligent about drinking water for sure. It's just kind of a pain in the butt when it's cold. So last few hours of our 72-hour challenge, and I was really hoping we could land a fish and have some meat, just to feel like we've accomplished something. So let's just make a few casts and see what we can come up with. They don't seem to be biting. Can't quite figure out why.
I got cattail all over me now. I got to get all rinsed off.
This is a terrible idea, Dustin.
Oh no.
And he's in!
Oh,
Hold that. Woo! All right, I'm going in, and I'm coming out. Oh! That is cold! That is cold! Ah, that is so cold! Frigid! You are tough! I am not! Holy crap! Woo! That is nice.
Best insulator, best drying device is a torn t-shirt with cattail fuzz all over it.
We're gonna get pictures of that. Hold on.
See, looking at the temperature of the water, it looks like it's roughly air temperature, roughly 45, 50 degrees. Looks like just above freezing. This is a big scratching post. We got claw marks here and here and some over here, and then all the bark is stripped off. I'm gonna say this is a mountain lion that has scratched on this.
Have you seen any in the area?
I have seen mountain lion up here. Usually they're going the other direction. I have seen bear here, black bear. But yeah, I'm pretty sure.
I've seen lots of bear scratches, and they're usually vertical, not like that. So that's interesting.
And with that, this is roughly 400 or 500 yards from where you set up camp.
Yeah.
So.
Hey guys, we survived 72 hours in the Colorado mountains. We did not die. I really appreciate you guys tuning in. Thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate any comments that you might leave. Ask us questions about the experience, tell us stuff that we did wrong. I'm sure there'll be quite a bit of that in there, and that's okay. So But again, thank you very, very much for watching. We're going to go get something to eat. Dustin, do you have anything to add to that?
No, man, I had a good time. So glad you came out here.
Absolutely. Thank you very much to Wazoo and Dustin here for supplying the gear that we used. Links will be in the description, so you can click on that, and there'll even be a discount code in that description. So check that out if you want any of the Wazoo gear that we have.
And to Jason of the Survival University and Mountain Man Survival Co. I don't know.
Colorado Mountain.
Colorado Mountain Man Survival.
Should have read it. It's on his shirt. His hat. Because Jason made this all possible to kind of, he knew about this place.
This is his turf.
Let us come out here and checked on us, made sure we didn't die.
Yeah, that was nice. I wasn't expecting that. That was nice. I felt warm and fuzzy every time you showed up. Thanks, guys. See ya. If I wasn't so hungry, I'd love to hike up to that. Yeah. But I'm starving.